Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Improv Gaming here on youtube.com/Improv Gaming. As always, I am joined with my two co-hosts. First to my left, he's only the biggest Zelda fan in the world. Don't believe me? He has a tattoo of the Triforce right on his arm right over there. And to my right, he only has the best ponytail in the business.
It's fabulous.
Mr. Nicholas.
How you doing tonight, everybody?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
It's a show where three friends come and sit on this very couch and talk about gaming topics or gaming debates for your guys' pleasure. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about 3 topics. The first one being guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasures. We all have them. The second topic will be Quicktime events. Are they good? Are they used too much? And third, which we, I think, as a collective group are excited to talk about, can a game be too good?
We shall see.
We shall see. But first,
We shall.
as always, Mr. Jeremy Berg with the One Up News.
One Up News. Okay, so we got coming up May 19th, The Witcher. We're going to be live streaming that at Pete's house. Nope, it's going to be here. Sorry. It's going to be here. We're going to be live at 9 p.m. Tune into Twitch at Improv Cap. You'll see at the bottom of the screen. Be there. Watch us play it. We also have coming out Swords and Soldiers 2 for the Wii U. Looks like an interesting game. I may pick it up. And last but not least, we have Puzzles and Dragons the Super Mario Edition for 3DS coming out. I haven't seen. Have you seen anything about it?
It's an interesting because they're trying to bring in the Mario license to it, and with that, it should bring in some fans, but it's basically like a puzzler, very plain and simple.
I'll give it a shot. Also, what I found out was there's a group called Platonic. They're a former Rare developer. You guys remember Rare, Banjo-Kazooie, GoldenEye? Mm-hmm. They actually did a Kickstarter fund to put out a game called, I kid you not, it's called Yooka-Laylee. It's a Banjo-Kazooie tribute. It's starring a bat and an iguana. I looked at it.
Wow.
It looks pretty good. They actually reached their goal of $270,000 on Kickstarter. I've seen the trailer for it. It looks really, really good. I'm a huge Banjo-Kazooie fan. I'm definitely going to pick that up.
How do you spell it?
Yooka-Laylee. 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 Play on words.
Nice.
But for anyone here who is in between the age of 25 and 30, you all know this, and hopefully you saw this today. From the godfather of skateboarding himself, they are announcing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
How awesome is that going to be?
Oh, I saw that today. I am stoked for that.
That's going to be epic. I've been waiting for a Tony Hawk.
Yes. Screw Ride, forget that. I liked...
Oh, with the little skateboard.
That little
Oh, that was
skateboard?
terrible.
Oh, Skate was bad, too.
Skate was bad, but Underground 1 and 2 and American Wasteland were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I've never put more time on skateboarding games, but...
Well, it is Tony Hawk.
Oh, you can't mess with Tony Hawk. So who's up first for Guilty Pleasures?
Guilty pleasures. All right. I'll give you my list. My list consists of the Legos. So Lego Batman.
Oh,
Lego
the
That's
Lego.
fun. That's
Right?
definitely fun.
All right. They're fun, but
Damn.
my other one that I would be... I'm never ashamed to mention it, but it's still kind of a guilty pleasure. Little Big Planet.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right?
I like Little Big Planet. It's good.
Katamari.
Katamari Damacy. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right?
These are not
All right.
guilty pleasures. These are classics you're talking about right now, my friend.
Yeah, I think that would probably be it. If I can think of anything else, I'll definitely tune into it. But yeah, those are definitely some of my big guilty pleasures where, you know, I'm half ashamed to like them just because they're so childish and they're so oriented towards like being very kiddie, but they're also so good. They're so vast. They're so powerful. Like Little Big Planet being the only game I've ever seen that gives you everything you need to make that game.
Game within a game.
Yeah. It's
you
like
can make anything you want.
Yeah, you can create anything you want to, and the way that they formatted it was so simple. Where if you ever use like Microsoft Paint or Photoshop or any kind of like paint program on a computer, it's exactly the same way in Little Big Planet. In Katamari, who can't get excited when the big ball gets bigger?
Becomes bigger and bigger.
Squish, squish.
Starting to take up humans.
Yep.
By the way, I'm Pete from Improv Gaming as well. I don't think I introduced
I don't
myself.
think you did
Say
introduce
anybody's name this time, you knucklehead.
And I'm wondering why Pete didn't introduce himself.
I wonder about that. All right,
That's not important.
Guilty
Yeah.
pleasure.
I just thought about that. I was like, I don't think I said. They're gonna be like, who is the guy talking?
So,
Guilty pleasure, Jay.
all right, the Spider-Man series for GameCube. Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3 based on the movie series. Everybody, I know they crap all over, oh, it's a movie tie-in game, but I had a lot of fun playing those games. 3, not so much. 2, when they basically went off the course and decided to add in all the villains that weren't in the movie. Like, you actually got to go and web sling to the Statue of Liberty across whatever the bay is, or the river, to get to it. To get to Mysterio. Thought it was a great game.
Wasn't that the one where they went open world with it?
Yes.
That one was a good one. I just didn't get how you could web sling across a river when there's no buildings above you.
There's little balloons, but...
I just remember it's like sky. There's something. It's like there's nothing there.
Oh man, what game was it? It was Spider-Man. It was on the PlayStation, and the end boss was Carnage. Oh my
You talking
goodness.
about... You mean where Carnage merges with Doc Ock by chance?
No.
That was a good game. That was a
That one
Nintendo
was a good
64. That was a good game.
No, I think it was a PlayStation. It might have been PlayStation 2, but it was a Spider-Man title that I played where the last boss you had to fight was Carnage, and you had to use sonic waves in order to defeat him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what game it is, but I
you
know
could,
what you're talking
but
about.
on like the first level, you could swing backwards where there are no buildings, and you could go to the Fantastic Four's building.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one that was. If you know, leave it in the comments.
And my other guilty pleasure, Rumble Roses for PlayStation 2.
You remember that game?
Dead or Alive with wrestling.
Yes.
I had fun. I beat it. I had fun.
Dead or Alive volleyball. Did anybody play that?
No.
Or was I the only one having fun with that one?
Yeah, I think you're the only one that had fun with that one. Didn't have Ryu Hayabusa. I was not so.
Oh.
Well, I wasn't really focused on that. Couldn't focus on the volleyball either.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
The physics. Boom, boom, boom,
The other
boom,
volleyballs
boom,
we
boom.
could definitely look at the whole day.
But my guilty pleasures. One would be the Lego series. I've always enjoyed that. The Star Wars one especially.
Oh yeah.
Another one being Sonic Heroes.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
Remember
oh,
Sonic Heroes?
no,
when
no.
Where you had the 3 of them and you teamed and you each went through Team Chaos, or then Team Dark, Team Sonic, and then Team Rose.
Oh man.
And you had to go through all their different stories and how they converged. I love that game. It is it was so good. Like, I liked it better than Sonic Generations.
You know what the best part of that game was?
What?
The theme song. That's about it. Other than that, it's repetition straight through. You got easy mode with Rose, you got hard mode with Dark, you got what the F mode with Chaotix, and Team Sonic is just a standard. And you're nuts enough to get those Chaos Emeralds? Have fun with that, Junior. I'll play something else.
Hey, I didn't knock you on Rumble Roses.
You
buddy.
could have. I was waiting for you to rip me on that one. But... oh, God.
Another one being Kirby, but not the Rainbow Curse. Epic Yarn.
Oh okay.
I like it.
All right.
That was good.
All right.
But
Thanks.
a lot of people judged when you would see Kirby as Yarn, and like, I'm excited for Yoshi's Woolly World.
Woolly World.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people would judge just by hearing a grown man say Kirby.
And Epic Yarn. What is epic so much about that yarn?
Who cares? It's
Yarn.
just
It's like the movie.
it's Kirby.
But I think
The cheapest Smash Brothers character ever.
One of them.
no,
Kirby is not the cheapest Smash Brothers character ever.
not
Sword
at all.
blades.
Really?
Drop
Who
rocks
would
on
you
people.
say? Who would you say is the cheapest Smash
Oh,
Brothers?
here we go.
I would have
We're
to
going
say
to war again. Pete, we are never going to finish battling. That is never going to happen.
I would have to say, even though I play with him, I admit, and I'm probably gonna play with him for Evo, is Ganondorf.
Ganondorf?
Nice job,
I've never
Captain
played
Falcon
with
Clone.
Ganondorf, so I wouldn't know. But that triple float that Kirby has,
Yeah, but
King
Jigglypuff
DDD does the
has
same
that.
thing.
yeah, not so much. Kirby can go a distance.
Yeah, but
like-
so can King DDD.
Yeah?
You
They
go
also
up
do-
and then he flies halfway into the thing.
And that's when you do the
Oh yeah, that's right. He does that vertical.
Yeah.
you do the up
yeah,
jump
yeah.
and then
Shut
you
up.
He
jump
does.
on the guy.
Yeah, but Kirby, you could time it where like he'll float and then he just stays drifting and then. Like it's the most like King DDD has nothing on Kirby. Kirby can go from one end of the map to the other end of the map by accident.
There's an episode. Who's the best and cheapest Smash character? Is Kirby cheap?
Kirby's
Let us know.
cheap. Kirby is cheap. He is the cheap.
Duck Hunt's cheap.
Nintendo 64 Smash Brothers. Kirby was by far the cheapest character.
Yeah.
Note to self, I'll play Kirby for N64 from now on. I'll be that guy. But I think what we could say about guilty pleasures is everybody has one. Obviously,
yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and some people don't like to admit it. You know, like I said, the Sonic Heroes. A lot of people would frown upon me.
You're gonna get stabbed for winning
Yeah.
that game.
It's just, you know what it is. Like I played so many Sonics, you know, except for that new one, Sonic Boom, Curse of the Lyric.
Next.
That was, oh my god awful.
What was that one?
Resident.
Terrible. That's what it was.
Awful.
Was that the one where he turned into a werewolf?
No, that was
No.
Unleashed.
Oh,
No, that was Unleashed.
Wasn't that just as bad?
There's potential.
When on my Twitch, me and my buddy did a hot pepper challenge where we played Madden
poor man.
and had habanero peppers,
Oh.
and it was terrible. But this game was worse than the habanero pepper.
Wow. All right.
It ends up being that you can go from the second level all the way to the final boss. Yeah,
Yep.
it was just a total glitch. And
Wow.
please, as a favor to me, guys, don't check that game out.
About
Emulate
broken.
that thing.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of guilty pleasures also can be from gameplay aspects, and some of those gameplay aspects could be.
La, la, la,
What could
la,
you
la.
say, Nick? Quicktime events?
Oh my god.
Push X, you're gonna
Don't
die.
Get me started on QuickTime.
What's your
events.
problem with them?
I hate QuickTime events because there are so many games that will go into what looks like a cutscene
I love this argument.
where you can relax and then suddenly hit that button. Oh, I'm dead. And the worst freaking culprit is God of War. Alright?
That's the gameplay style.
I like God of War, right? And there's QuickTime events where you get into a combo and then you start to hit a QuickTime event. But there's other ones where you don't see it coming at all.
Because it's at the corner of the screen.
And suddenly, no. And then suddenly, you know, God of War 2 when you're fighting the Hydra on the boats, right? That first Hydra.
Wasn't that God of War 1?
Was that God of War?
That was the
1?
first one. That was the first boss.
That was the first one? Alright, so the first boss, right? I'm first time playing the game. I'm playing, and the Hydra snaps the mouth, and Kratos catches it. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what does it look like? It looks like a cutscene, right? So I'm like, alright, let me go ahead and hang out, put the controller down, relax, and watch the cuts. What is that? That is, and then I died. And I was like, are you kidding me? Really? And then, to make matters worse, God of War is so good at random QuickTime scenes.
Yep.
So the next time you do it, it's not the same button. It's a different button, right? So it's like, all right, now I know I have to hit X, and I'm all geared up, ready to hit X, and no, it's square this time. So, all right, I don't have a problem with God of War's QuickTime events that happen in battle. Those are good. You know, when you like rip the ogre's eye out of his socket, and you do stuff like that, or you tear the chimera's head off. You know, those are good because you know you have your QuickTime stuff where you rip the Gorgon's head off. You know, part of the combos, part of the kill streak. That's all right. That's not a problem. What my problem is when you make these long chain of QuickTime events with no save point or checkpoint in between them, and I have to execute them completely perfectly in order to get into the next scene.
Yep.
All right. I did not buy Parappa the Rapper. I bought God of War. I did not buy Parappa the Rapper. I bought The Order. I do not like QuickTime events. If I wanted QuickTime events, I would get Guitar Hero. I would buy games that are all based on button pressing at a certain point, at a certain frequency, at a certain pressure, jiggling your stick. Right? If I wanted to jiggle my stick, I wouldn't be playing video games.
Oh God.
Does that mean you hate Parappa the Rapper?
No.
Well-
no, I'm not saying that. That's not happening.
You and I have a good example. We were doing the live stream of Mortal Kombat X, and we're watching the thing, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, cutscene!" No, the cutscene. Sorry, QuickTime event, and you're just like, "Wait a
Which
minute."
is unexpected. Yeah, Mortal Kombat X has QuickTime
Wow,
events.
come on. You see, like, it's just getting out of control. Like,
Watch
it's
that
like, to me, it's a cheap way for publishers or for developers to say, well, we gotta get a challenge in there, so let's just bring a QuickTime event. And now you have to start back from your last checkpoint to fight all those monsters, kill that boss, to get to that QuickTime event again. It's a cheap way to make a game more difficult than it is.
Well,
Padding.
let me go on my little tint about QuickTime events, because as you
And-
guys know, I do enjoy QuickTime events.
Oh yeah, your QuickTime events.
But to a certain degree. The Order 1886 had a lot of QuickTime events.
90% of the game.
Holy bejesus. Not you. But,
But Jesus? No. The
Dead
Jesus.
I know. Anyway. The Order 1886, it has a lot of QuickTime events. What I like was like a game like Tomb Raider, where it had its QuickTime events, but it wasn't where it was too much craziness. You know, it had it where, you know, you have to get this off of her. You need to grab the ledge, so you have to quickly press X.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best, by far, QuickTime event that I've ever played in one of my favorite games was Resident Evil 4.
I can disagree.
Well, you're not talking.
I won't admit it, you jerk.
This is a very frustrating.
Yeah, wow.
But Resident Evil 4, especially with at the
Anybody else sweating as much as I am? This is going to be heated.
at the end, you face.
Phrase.
I said face.
You said face.
You know what?
Oh, God.
This might be a quick time event because you won't see my punch coming. Anyway, at the end, you face Kreider.
Let's
Resident
get
Evil
ready to
4.
rumble.
Boom. But you face Kreider at the end, and you have this cutscene. But while having this cutscene, you have these QuickTime events. But it adds to the story, I feel. You know, it's like you're talking, and then it says, press X. You hit X, you dangle with the knives, and then it goes back into a stance. You know, especially with... And then when The Rock was chasing him down the hill, you know, you had press A, press A, press A, press A, press A, press A. Okay,
Yeah,
now
that's all right.
press R1 to get out of the way.
I would argue that Uncharted's QuickTime events are better.
Yeah, but it's also a later game. At the time, Resident Evil had those moments where, you know, it was it had its gameplay. It had, you know, you have to take these zombies or people down, however you want to describe them, you know. And when you do, you know, but then there's those times where you had a scene where you knew, okay, maybe I should pay attention. There might be a QuickTime event. You know, it ends up being with QuickTime events. Too much is overkill, I admit. But if it engages you in the story, you know, even Mortal Kombat X, it engaged you in the story, you know.
Caught us off guard, but...
Yeah, it caught you off
Yeah,
guard,
I
but
got
it
you.
also is a cool aspect where when you hit it, it's like, if I hit this at the right moment, something cool is going to happen, you know?
Well, that's what Mass Effect had. Was a lot of those you had to pay attention to what somebody was saying. You had to pay attention to what was going on because you had to hit the triggers for the Paragon or the
Yeah.
Renegade, in order to get that, you know, middle selection.
Oh,
That Mass Effect. We're not going into that. We'll fight each other for real. But what are your memories of QuickTime events?
Splatterhouse.
Splatterhouse again.
Splatterhouse.
No,
Hold on, guys. You got
don't-
15
don't-
minutes worth of Splatterhouse now. Where I stand and stare into the camera for 15
All right,
minutes.
I'll nip this in the butt real quick, and Nick can agree with me. Those are fun ones. Literally, to get more blood, more orbs, you just had to literally do whatever it was. Push the 2 control sticks up, mash the button,
Yeah.
rotate this. That was fun. That was one of my favorite experiences. God of War was really good. What other games? I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like, were they in They were in Devil May Cry. What am I thinking about?
No.
Never mind. Scratch that. But
I don't think so.
The
That's fine.
recent
I'm
one I
trying to
remember is Tomb Raider.
Devil May Cry might have
order.
been in like boss fights.
Yeah,
There
you're
might
right.
have been
You're right.
some, but I can't think of anything where you had QuickTime events in combat, like Splatterhouse or like God of War. Because he already had QuickTime events built into his moveset.
Yeah.
You know, his stinger was a consistent thing if you hit it the right way. So I don't think Devil May Cry had many QuickTime events. I think Devil May Cry 4 did.
Yeah, 4 did.
Yeah.
I
4
think
did.
4 did.
And DMC. Did
Yeah.
they have a couple? I think.
Same as like excuse me, Devil May Cry 4 did.
Oh.
With the whole like boss thing, but that was about it. Other than that, I really haven't done a lot of QuickTime games, but from what I know, I don't mind them.
Funny though,
even-
Devil May Cry 1 didn't have any QuickTime events.
Well,
But that was an older
Like-
game. You have to remember.
But I mean that was after Resident Evil 4.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No, it wasn't. Because Resident Evil 4 came out in 2004.
4.
And Devil May Cry was like, what, 99, 2000?
But that was the same generation, wasn't it? Same generation of consoles.
Yeah, but still, it wasn't.
GameCube and
up-
PS2, you are right.
It
Yeah.
wasn't until later when it was developed. You could also say that, you know, what's a good example? You know, Halo came out on the Xbox 360 or Xbox, and then they refined it for the 360. But then they bring Call of Duty in and redo the whole
Genre.
You know, it's like it's just because later new ideas happen. You know, with QuickTime, it's even with Bayonetta. You know, Bayonetta had its own little
That's
QuickTime
one,
event.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if like it bounced off of, it did its own thing, and then if I believe so, Devil May Cry 4 came out after Bayonetta, the first one,
Yeah, you're
and
right.
that's where it got that because Bayonetta and Devil May Cry are very similar type of games.
Yeah.
You know,
To the point where in Bayonetta there's an achievement called Angel May Cry.
Yes.
exactly.
I remember that.
But QuickTime events, it ends up being that it could be good and it could be bad.
Yeah, if you overdo it, it really takes away from the experience altogether. I start to lose interest. I start to not want to play the game. Like if I was playing Order, I probably would have put down the controller
definitely.
and despised it
The
because
the last fight is a QuickTime event.
Boom, boom,
like
boom,
I
boom,
can't
boom,
stand that.
win.
I prefer to be in control of what my character is doing. So I prefer hack and slashers where I
Same
can
here.
control the combo set
Yeah.
and what's going on, and I can control the triggering of said QuickTime event. You know, I don't need you to dictate exactly how I'm going to play my game. You already made the game, and it's already a level-based game, and it's already a chapter-based game. Now you're going to tell me which buttons to press the entire game?
Yeah.
That's a little much.
See, I'm different because some of my favorite games to this day, Resident Evil 4, you know, the Uncharted's, Tomb Raider, they have those QuickTime events where I'm just like, it adds so much because it makes me feel, oh, if I didn't do this, you know.
I'll never argue with you against those games because those games, and I like to use this phrase, I've used it a couple of times, they do it with class. You know, Uncharted, they put thought into what they're doing. Now, they might have rushed Uncharted 3, but generally, they put thought into what they're doing. And they're not just going to throw out a game of QuickTime events in order to up the ante because they want to trip you up and then send you back to the last checkpoint, which is, you know, hours ago. You know, not that there's checkpoints anymore. Why am I talking about checkpoints? That's
well,
There are.
there
Save
are,
points.
but most games just autosave completely without checkpoints.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, most games you don't need to. I mean, that's one thing about Bloodborne that I'm kind of like skeeved on. You actually have to go to a thing to save.
That's what I like.
I was like,
about it.
really? Ink ribbons? Are we back at that?
It adds strategy
your
though,
rank
to
by
the game,
saving.
too. But getting back to Uncharted 3, we all know it was rushed because of the greatness that Uncharted 2 was. But that leads me to topic 3. Another way of getting in.
Are games too good?
Are games too good? Are they? Do they
Here is my experience. All right, Dante's Inferno.
Oh.
Did you play that game?
Loved it.
No, I was gonna pick it up, but then I heard mixed things about
No,
it.
you have to pick up Dante's Inferno. I am telling you, when it comes to Devil May Cry, God of War, Dante's Inferno,
And Castlevania.
hands down, Dante's Inferno blows them all out of the water. Just demolishes all of them.
Why?
I think it is the best made game that is a hack and slasher ever.
It's a pretty big
Bar
statement.
none. That's a really big statement.
That is.
That's a really big statement, and I will stand by it. The reason being that they based it directly off of the Divine Comedies.
Yep.
So they based it directly off of the poem Dante's Inferno. Or in what was it? That's not what it's called. It's called Inferno. I think the
It's like
poem
the
is called
seven things
it's called
that
it's the 7 or 9
stages,
levels
yeah.
of hell. Now, I'm not gonna give any spoilers because I really want you guys to get the game and play it because it is so good. Graphically, amazing.
What systems?
It was PS3, Xbox 360. Yeah, PS3, Xbox 360.
We got shafted.
Yeah, we got
Like
shafted.
always.
But it was a phenomenal game. Because of that game, I cannot play my beloved Devil May Cry's or God of War's ever again because they did such a good job with that game. A phenomenal job. In terms of gameplay, I don't think there was a single bug in the entire game.
There wasn't.
There wasn't a single glitch, a single frame drop. Nothing about that game had problems. Everything was smooth. And I have never seen a game so well put together, so well done, and such a great story. Now, granted, they already had the story. The story was made hundreds of years ago. But to see that finally culminate itself into an interactive medium was beautiful. Beautiful. You played it?
How many hours of sleep did you lose on that?
Oh, I want to get it now so that I can lose some hours of sleep on it. Talking about it.
I bought it day one, and I beat it within like a week, 2 weeks, and I started playing it again because it was just that good.
It really was.
Yeah, like you.
Let me give you guys a teaser. All right. The first thing that you fight is death.
Yep.
Okay? As in with the scythe. Alright? You steal his scythe and you go to hell. And the first demon that you fight are unbaptized babies.
Wrap your head around that one.
Done. Do you understand the kind of and it falls right in line with Dante's Inferno, the story, the Divine Comedy. It falls perfectly in line with that because in the first ring of hell is all of the unborn or the unbaptized babies that died before they were baptized. Little things that giggle and have claws like sectomers.
Yeah.
Sectomers.
Yeah.
For hands and legs.
Yeah.
And they run around the floor and they jump up at you. It is the scariest thing I have ever experienced in my life.
I played with the lights off, and I regret that to this day.
That was the scariest thing I have ever experienced in my life. And that's a hack and slasher. That's not your Resident Evil horror genre. That's not your what's that one that I always forget the name of that is free on
Silent
the PlayStation
Hill?
Network.
Or PT?
No, not PT. It's the one that everybody talks about. The green one. The icon is green.
Put in the comments
Oh
if you know
my
it.
goodness.
Yeah, what is no? I'm
Oh,
forgetting.
you would know. You would know. The moment somebody told us, you would know. But PT didn't scare me compared to that. No horror genre. Silent Hill, nothing. Not afraid of it. When I was 10 years old, I was afraid of Resident Evil. And then when I was 20 years old, I played I played Dante's Inferno, and I was pissing my pants. All right.
But now here's the question: though, is that game too good? Could it not live up
Yes.
to any other game?
Yes. That's why they didn't put out a sequel. They set it up for a sequel. They set the game up for a sequel. They're not going to do it.
Nope.
They ruined video games for everybody after, like, Devil May Cry and God of War are still trying to catch up to that level of just pure, good, old-fashioned game development. They can't live up to that.
Here's Dante's Inferno, and here's everybody else. Gonna claw, scratch, try to reach it. You can't beat that game. When you don't put a sequel out to it, you got nothing on that game. Nothing.
They're never gonna ruin that game. And they could, because he wrote 3 books. And they're all, that's what it is. In Bayonetta, it lists what the books are.
Yep.
In Bayonetta, the places that she goes to are the books. So there's Inferno, which is hell. There's Purgatorio, which is the place with all the little like shadows.
Yeah.
And then there's whatever they call heaven in like French or whatever.
You got me on that one.
I can't think of it offhand. I'm just ready to take you down with your argument. When I talk about can games be too good.
Bring it on, sweetheart.
Oh, you want me to go now? Okay. Let's flip. Okay. Uncharted 2. Fantastic. I brought it up. One of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
And I had a problem because after I played that, everything I played just didn't match up. Halo 3. It was a first-person shooter. After I played that, I said, oh, nothing can compare to this. This is a great first-person shooter for me. And nothing could compare. Uncharted, action-adventure, nothing can compare. But a game can be too good. But then you have another game that I feel just matches it just right. And my example would be Tomb Raider. For
The original or the
reboot. But wait,
okay.
I didn't
Go
take
ahead,
your head
go
when
ahead.
you were talking about
No,
Dante's Inferno.
Go ahead. But you didn't play Dante's Inferno. I played both Uncharted and I played Tomb Raider. So I know what you're talking about. But I don't think Tomb Raider holds a candle to Uncharted.
I didn't say it does. And
Here
the
we go,
long
the Great
thing,
War.
the Great War begins. Uncharted 2 is probably one of the best games ever made, bar none. But you know, a game
Except
can
for
be.
Dante's Inferno.
Point goes to Nick.
And he did that with such a straight face. I can't even. But Uncharted 2 was good. But Tomb Raider to me was just as good. For me, when a game is can it be too good? For the person it can be. You might love Dante's Inferno, but somebody can love Dante's Inferno and then play the new DMC and say that was probably the best hack and slash I've ever played.
If there is a person out there who has played Dante's Inferno and then played DMC and said that DMC was better, kill yourself today.
Please don't.
I
You
am
kind of
telling
need the
you,
subscribers.
Do
Please
not
do not.
reproduce and do not talk to me.
Stop playing video games and get a girlfriend.
There is no way that anybody who has played Dante's Inferno has played any other hack and slasher and thought that any of them were better than Dante's Inferno. And Dante's Inferno came out years ago.
Yep.
This is like one of the midway in the PlayStation 3 lifespan. This isn't like right before PlayStation 3 became irrelevant. This isn't when PlayStation 3 first came out. This is right in the middle, where PlayStation 3 was finally starting to get its power, or the Xbox was finally starting to get its power. So what they were able to do with Dante's Inferno, nobody has been able to do again. They're all glitchy, they're all buggy, they can't fix their system. Dante's Inferno was a perfect hack and slasher. I am telling you, if there is a game that, and I'm referring to hack and slashers, all right? So when I say like Uncharted is not better than Dante's Inferno, that's obviously a joke because it's a different genre to me.
Yeah, it's two different mediums.
It's two different mediums. So I'll say that there's no way that Dante's Inferno is going to ruin Uncharted for me. That's not going to happen. But Dante's Inferno ruined every hack and slasher for me.
Yeah, but the same argument can be said about Uncharted 2. It was a great game, but when I played Tomb Raider, the reboot, I was just like, man, this is just as good. I feel like it could be just as good
How
as
was the
Uncharted.
ending on Uncharted 2?
Disappointing.
Was
You
it?
just said that last episode.
Yeah, why didn't you say that last episode?
Because
You're betting 1,000 tonight.
no, it wasn't that the game was perfect all the way through until I feel like the end.
Okay.
With the final boss, it's like anything. With The Order, when I just finished it, the whole game was great, and then you get to the last boss, and it's a Quicktime event. It's cool, but it's not worth it in the end. I feel like with Tomb Raider, the story was there. Absolutely, the story was there with her origins. The gameplay was there. The Quicktime events were there. Just the stealth and just the beauty, the look of it, you know, all those stuff were there. And was that ending not that great either? No, it wasn't.
Well, that's
that
why
great.
I asked you, because I know last episode you said that was a very disappointing ending for you. So I asked, how was the ending to Uncharted 2 for you? And
But
no, he didn't fail.
No,
he said he was disappointed.
Yeah,
so I was expecting him to be like, "Oh, it was a phenomenal ending." Well, then that's why Tomb Raider doesn't compare. But you're right. All right, if they're both disappointing endings, then there's a better game out there for you.
yeah, but it ends up being also where a game can be too good. That's a given. But it's up to the player to think how good a game can be. For you, hack and slashes are ruined forever. You know, to me, I'm still thinking, you know what? Halo 5's coming out. Maybe it's going to blow my mind more than Halo 3. You know? Maybe.
It's a contender on my list.
Do you think... But if they're taking their time on Uncharted 4, you think it's going to be better than Uncharted 2?
I don't know.
But how would you know unless you try it?
Well, I'm not gonna say.
So you're going to say... You're going to say... Oh, I'm going to get heated.
I'm never gonna say. No. I played DMC. I'm not saying I'm not gonna play them. I'm saying that I did not enjoy them.
Because you're living up to...
Because I have this standard. And I thought that's the question we're asking. Can a game be too good? It can be too good where it ruins other games for you. It's not like, oh, because I got this coffee mug, I will never get another coffee mug again. That's not...
But if you're thinking that it's Dante's Inferno is the best game you've ever played, like, you know, in that mindset, you're just going to be like, oh...
It's not like I'm constantly like, oh, Dante's Inferno, Dante's Inferno. This is the first time in 7 episodes you heard me bring up Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
This is the first time. And the reason being because this was a prime time for me to say something about it. But I don't talk about Dante's Inferno everywhere I go. It's not like I have a tattoo on my arm of Dante's Inferno.
Oh, it's going all the ways.
Let's see you censor that one, sweetheart.
No offense. I'm just saying, like, I'm not.
We make up after.
I'm not saying that Dante's Inferno is just ingrained in my heart as my own little baby that I'll never let go. I'm saying that when I throw on a Bayonetta, every single time I'm playing that, I'm comparing it to Dante's Inferno.
But that takes away from a great game that could be. I was thinking that with Uncharted 2, but I'm like, maybe that's not the way. Because not a lot of games can be like Uncharted 2. So when I played Tomb Raider and it was a completely different protagonist with it being a woman, you know, different mechanics, you know, different type of action. And it brought something different where you're like, when you're going through those caves and she's all bloody, like, that was like, oh my god, that's such a cool moment.
That's
but yet,
great
like,
ambience.
Yeah, but in Uncharted 2, you could say, you know, going through the train sequence in the beginning was, wow, oh my goodness. But you know what? I feel bad because Mr. Bird has not said anything.
Hold on. You're talking about different scenes? Do those two put the whole game together? Like crawling through the different things in Uncharted, does that put the whole game together? Is that why it's so good? Or is it just the whole game as a whole?
It would be the whole game as a whole.
Okay.
If a game is too good, it's from beginning to mostly end. It keeps you and it gives you that high.
I'm telling you, play Dante's Inferno. Pete, I am telling you, play Dante's Inferno.
Yes.
Play Dante's Inferno.
I'll tell you what.
Play Dante's Inferno.
You want to do this? What we'll do is we're going to have us do a sit down.
Okay.
And I'm going to play Dante's Inferno. And we're going to put
First
it up.
reaction video.
We're going to put it up on YouTube for you guys. And we're going to see how much I like this game.
All right.
Let's do it.
Because I want to just see Nick go, oh, that's amazing. I mean, just be like, you know, DMC was better. But
he would do that out of spite, just to see me like Homer on Bart. You bastard!
But, Mr. Bird, what is your game that could be too good?
I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count.
Zelda.
Ocarina of Time. Hands down.
You don't think anything will beat that?
Really? Nothing will beat that.
That's the pinnacle of gaming for me. 1998. That game is going to be 20 years old in 3 years. Nothing will stand up to that. Not Mario, not Zelda, not Uncharted, not Devil May Cry, not Halo, nothing. From beginning to end.
Okay.
Technically,
outside
Zelda can
of your
Nintendo
comfort
fanboy.
zone. Of your comfort zone, because we all know that you're a Zelda fanboy, no offense.
I got it there and I got it on my
Yeah, I know. Alright? It says, in Zelda we trust.
Stop spying on me!
have you played a game that has ruined games for you? Or have you played a game that was just too good for you to enjoy another game?
I haven't.
You haven't. Outside of Zelda, you haven't.
No.
Even Zelda. Has
Like
Zelda
Twilight
ruined
Princess?
Has Zelda like ruined games for you? Has Zelda like not made you want to play any other RPGs?
Let me go off your thing. How you said for
RPG.
hack and slashes, for action adventure like open world games, Zelda is me. Like Ocarina of Time is the one game that for that whole genre, nothing will compare to it. You can go for other systems. Trying to go off the top of my head. I just can't think of anything like Resident Evil didn't do it for me. Like 5 dropped the ball. That was a disappointment of a game. It's just a lot of these games put out a lot of hype for their thing. Like, oh, this is gonna be the next big game. This is gonna be the next big thing, and I'm just like, all right, it was good. It's still not gonna stand up to like this, and this. But I know, like, yes, everybody can say, oh, you're biased. You're the Nintendo fanboy of the group. But honestly, I'll fight anyone to the death over they thinking, oh, it's childish. Oh, it's old news. It's like retro, whatever. I still say, for gaming on a plateau, for me, it's Ocarina of Time, or it's nothing. Like you can.
No,
But you enjoy-
I get your perspective on it, but again, I'm asking like after you played Ocarina of Time,
Can you enjoy other
did you find
Zeldas?
that you couldn't enjoy other games?
Maybe 1 or 2.
But in the Zelda
In the
universe?
Zelda universe?
No. Period. Just in any.
Well, he's saying period. I want to know, in the Zelda universe, is Twilight not good? Was Skyward Sword not good? Is New Legend of Zelda, do you think, oh, it's not going to be as good as Ocarina? You're on the spot, Mr. Bird.
I know. Because inside the Zelda universe, Twilight Princess was good. 4 out of 5. Skyward Sword, if you could just map the controls to a freaking controller instead of the Wiimote, I would say it's a near perfect game. Outside of it, there is just nothing that's been able to stand up to it. Not Final Fantasy, not Resident Evil. I'm sorry, like, I know it's the old thing of, like, action-adventure versus role-playing, but nothing's been able to stand up to that.
Alright. That was my question. That's what I was wondering.
Like, you can put up new games and be like, okay, Halo 5, it's got Spartan Lock and it's got Master Chief. It looks good. The game's probably going to blow my mind with how good the story is and the two sides, but I'm still going to be like, okay, I won't say, oh, it's not as good as Ocarina of Time, because that's being biased and I sound pigheaded.
But you'll still enjoy it.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
That's how I am. I enjoyed Uncharted 2, and it's a great game. It is that good, but I can also enjoy other games. The other games don't defeat it for me.
I can't. I'm telling you.
Sorry, I'll beat on the bush for 20 minutes.
No, that's fine. But I cannot enjoy a hack and slasher because of Dante's Inferno. I can't. Dante's Inferno ruined hack and slashers for me. The only time I got close to really enjoying it as much was Splatterhouse.
But Splatterhouse is fun.
That's the only time. But Splatterhouse did it differently. Jeremy had a very broken game. I didn't really experience that much breakage in my game, although I did have some freezing and stuff like that.
But it's still a fun friggin' game.
It was just a fun game. There was no story to Splatterhouse. It was the shoddiest story that there is.
I can summarize the plot in 3 little words. Actually, 4. Dude, save your girl.
Yeah.
That's the plot.
That's pretty much what the plot is. Save your girlfriend.
Yep. That's all it is.
That's all it was. But there was no plot. There was no character development.
Nope.
There was nothing.
Nope.
There was nothing. All there was bleeding the bloody hell out of somebody so that then you could suck their blood up.
Yep.
That's all that game was just creative ways to dismember bodies.
Yep. Yeah, you don't kill any humans, which I think is really good.
Dante's Inferno was just so vivid, such a strong story, such a strong character development. Everything about that game was strong. Plus, when you have a good story, a lot of times the development falls off in the gameplay.
Yep.
But the gameplay was phenomenal. There was no... I cannot think of a single bug that I had in that game.
Well, you know what, guys? In the comments, let us know. Or do you side with Nick? Do you think that if you play this game that could be too good, does it ruin the rest
Jeremy's
of
a biased jerk.
them? Do you think Jeremy's biased?
There's your
Or
reply.
do you agree with me where games can be great and you can hold them up, but there's also other games that say, you know what, that's just as good, it's on the level. I mean, this ends episode 7. Just so you guys know, remember, we are streaming The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 Pacific.
Yep.
We're going to be going over the game, giving us our thoughts about it. We're going to let you know what we think about it. We're going to be playing for it. And as always, you can ask us questions in the comments. We'll answer them and all that. But besides that, Nick, what's up with all that jazz?
You know where to reach us. It's at improv_gaming. The YouTube channel is obviously youtube.com/improvgaming. You can email us at improvgamers@gmail.com. You can reach us on Instagram at improv_gaming. And you can always get us on Twitch at improvcap.
And you know what, guys? If you like what you see here and you want to see more, you could always hit that like and subscribe button and you can see a lot more. And as always,
Game on.
Let's not stand on ceremony here, Mr. Anderson.
Shut up. Go home, Sean Connery. You're drunk.
Mr.